Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a story time today. So a quick ramble, I guess, before I start. I am filming with a new camera, so if like I keep looking over there, it's because I'm adjusting to it, and also, oh, excuse me. If the sound's off, it's because I'm still like getting used to it and adjusting to it. And also, I just wanted to point out that I already did this story time on a Facebook Live when I was doing my Facebook makeup video live. So anyway, so if you guys watched that video and you guys don't want to rewatch it this time, then just exit out. But if you guys don't mind rewatching it, or if you guys missed it, it's here on YouTube and I have it up for good. So if you guys want to watch it, then keep on watching. And also, my daughter is like watching TV in the background, so you guys might be hearing some extra sound back there. To begin, dude. So I had this loser ex-boyfriend. I mean, I think everybody has loser ex-boyfriends, but anyways, so that you like just somehow fall in love. So like that happened to me. Anyways, okay, so I was dating this guy and my ex, and you know, like he was like my first like real boyfriend, if you know what I mean. You know, like, you know, you have like your little dumb boyfriends in high school and stuff, but like then you have like more serious relationships. So anyway, so this was, I guess, more serious relationship. Well, at least I thought so. Okay, so this happened many years ago, dude. Like, how many years ago? Maybe like 6 years ago. So it was a long time ago. So no, maybe like 6-7 years ago. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So right, we were seeing each other. We were already dating for quite a while. A few months. I don't know if we've been dating already for a year. I don't think so. I think it was just a few months into the relationship, but you know, like we would see each other every day. So where I lived in my old house, he lived like a few streets down. So like we weren't like neighbors, but we lived in the same community, in the same neighborhood. So, you know, like we were inseparable. Like we were always together, right? So I think I was going to college at the time. So I had just gotten into college, and, you know, I was, you know, going to school, and I wasn't working. That's all I did was just go to school. You know, I'm over here thinking, you know, life is great. You know, like he's the love of my life. Like, you know, like like we go on dates. Like everything's cool. You know, like we live by each other, and like we're always hanging out and blah, 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 right? So this is just like one incident with this toxic ex-boyfriend. Like I have many other story times, but anyways, today is just gonna be on this one specific story time. So at the time where he was working at or whatever, I guess he needed like a first aid fingerprint card thing. I don't know, like some type of certificate, whatever, training, CPR, whatever. So, and do the fucked up thing is that I went with him to this to go sign up. But anyways, okay, let me get to that. So again, like we're like this, right? So I remember one day he was like, hey, you know, I have to go renew my certificate or whatever. He's like, do you want to go with me so I could sign up or whatever, get more information? And he's like, it's a location here in Avondale. So I live in Arizona, you guys. So anyway, so we drive to Avondale. It's not that far from like my old house. So we go to Avondale, and we go into like this plaza, and it's like, you know, like those little plazas, and it has like one of the suites or whatever is where he needs to get off and go. So I stayed in the car. Like now that I look back, like I should have gotten off the car, but at the same time is like, no girlfriend should ever have to be put in that position where she always has to be like beside you or on your ass, you know, like there should always be like that trust, right? So anyways, so I stay in the car, you know, like whatever, and then he goes inside and he like tries to get more information and fills out all the paperwork or whatever the fuck he's doing in there. He's obviously doing more, but I'll get to that later. So he comes back in the car like nothing, you know, we go about our day, whatever. And then like the days go on, and then like it turns into like a week or 2 weeks or whatever. And like, you know how when you get like a gut feeling, like like you just know what's up. That's how I felt. Like I didn't feel distance from him because we're still see each other all the time, but I still had like, for some reason, like I got like a gut feeling in those like week or two or whatever, and I was like, man, it's just me, like whatever, you know. And then one day dude came around, and I remember I was supposed to go over his house. Again, it was a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly what we were doing. I don't remember if we were gonna go eat, like we were gonna eat dinner, or if we were just gonna like chill and like watch a movie or something. Anyways, the point is that so at the time, you know, we were young, so I still lived at home with my mom, and he lived at home with his parents. So he's like, hey, can you meet me halfway? Because again, like remember how we live like so close to each other? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So he starts walking. He's like, hey, I'm at the corner of like your block or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll go out. And I had told my mom, I was like, hey ma, like you know, I'm going over so and so's house. You know, I'll see you later. She's like, okay, whatever. So I leave, right? And I remember it was nighttime, but it wasn't that late. So like the sun was already down, but it wasn't late, you know what I mean? It was probably like 7 or 8. And so anyway, so I walk, you know, we're walking like whatever, like, you know, like just walking and chilling. But like, you know how like you could tell like when a guy or somebody needs to tell you something, but they don't want to spit it out, but like you could see it in their face. So that's how he was, right? So we're walking, and I'm like, hey, you know, like, is everything cool? Is everything right? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. And I asked him like a couple of times. And then, so we're walking right back to his house. So at this point, we're probably like halfway of my house and his house. And he turns around, like we stop in the sidewalk under a light. And he turns around, and we're like at the corner where like the mailboxes are at and stuff. So there's like obviously we're like in the neighborhood, so there's like houses everywhere. So we stop there, and he turns around and he looks at me. He's like, hey, I have to tell you something. Dude, my heart dropped so hard. Like you guys already know like that feeling, like, oh. So I remember my heart dropping, and I just stood quiet, and I was like, what? And he looked at me. He's all like, well, today I went to the movies with a friend. I was like, is she a girl? He's like, yeah. And I was like, all right. So obviously it's not your friend. Like it's more than a friend. It's like somebody you're talking to. And he's like, no, you know, she's just my friend. Like he was trying to cover it up. He's like, she's just my friend, and obviously I care about you and your feelings. That's why I'm telling you right now. If I didn't care about you and your feelings, I would have kept this a secret, and I would have never told you. He's like, but I have respect for you because you're my girlfriend, and so I'm telling you that what happened today. I'm being straight up, and I'm telling you that I went to the movies with some girl. And then I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that ain't cool with me. I was like, what if I go to the movies with a guy right now? You know, I was like, you know what, let me look at my Facebook page right now and ask any of my Facebook friends, guys, hey, let's go to the movies. He's like, no, it's different because now you just want revenge. I was like, no, it ain't different. It's the same thing, right? And then he starts to justify it, and he starts to say how sorry he was and blah, 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 blah. And then he goes further into saying, you know, like, oh no, nothing's happened. All we did was go to the movies. He's like, I didn't even kiss her, like nothing, like we didn't hold hands, we didn't do anything, we didn't hug, like we just went to the movies and that's it. He's like, plus she's married. She's what? I was like, what the fuck? She's what? She's married? Hold up. So you're telling me that this girl that has a ring on her finger from a different man decided to go to the movies with your funky ass? And how is that not considered cheating? And how is that okay? Can somebody please help me like process that through my head? Whether you guys did stuff or not, she still went to the movies with some other guy, and I guarantee you her husband didn't know. If her husband knew, And he was okay with it. Oh yeah, we're just going to the movies with my friend. Like, what the what? Like, which married girl goes to them? I could never, dude. Like, I'm not married, but like if I was, like, there's no way. Even boyfriends, like, there's no way in hell that I could go to the movies with some friend that is a guy when if I'm in a relationship, or especially if I'm married. Like I don't understand these girls. But by the way, her name was Yesenia, and she worked in Avondale somewhere. So if you guys live around there, please keep a close eye on your man, because this girl obviously has no respect. So anyways, so then he goes, but I'm gonna stop talking to her, like I already deleted her number, or blah 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 blah. And I was like, so at this point, you guys, sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked. So I'm bringing you guys back into the story. So when he's saying all this, like, I'm just standing there in the corner of the street. All these emotions are raging through me, like they're just going through me, and I don't even know what to do, right? So I wanted to cry, but I didn't want him to see me cry, you know what I mean? So I turned around and I started walking home, but he was holding me. Like, when I was trying to leave, like I was turning around to leave, like he kept on pulling me back. So we were literally not fighting, but you know what I mean? Like, I was like doing one of these, like, stop, like let me go, like I want to go home, like I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna go home. So I'm like, you know, doing one of these, and then he's like doing one of these, like pulling me back. And then we're literally in the sidewalk, dude, in the street, doing this. And he's like, Jasmine, like, let's just talk about it. Like, I don't want you to go home. Like, can we just, like, you know, like, let's just talk. I knew you were gonna be mad and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, let go of me. Like, I want to go home. So we're fighting, right? And then I start walking. So it was at the corner, right? So if you walk straight, it would have been walking towards his house, and if you walk back, it would have been walking towards my house. But we're at the corner, so there was a street this way. So he was blocking me to go this way back to my house. So I started walking this way to go down this street, you know what I mean? Like, and then again he like walked. So at this point, dude, I'm like almost running, dude. I'm like speed walking. I'm like trying to go like as fast as I can down that other street, but he catches up to me and he blocks me, like, in every direction that I'm trying to go. Like, he stands in front of me, like blocking me. He's like holding me. And mind you, I'm like super pissed off, and I want to cry, and I'm emotional, but I don't want to give him that benefit of the doubt that, like, you know, like, oh yeah, he hurt me, you know what I mean? So anyways, I go back. Somehow it ended up where I was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna start screaming or doing something crazy, like, if you don't let me go through, like, I need to go home, like, it is what it is, you know? So he goes home, like, he's like, okay, he walks that way and I walk this way, right? So, oh my god, I don't want to start crying because I remember this. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. So the whole way, dude, it's just because, like, I was so dumb, like, ugh. But you live and you learn, you know? So the whole way home, as I was walking home, I just started crying and crying, and I couldn't hold back my tears. And I was like, how am I gonna go back inside my house if, like, everybody's there? Like, that's embarrassing, like, they're gonna see me cry. And I was like, should I just, like, I don't know, like, should I just go to the park and, like, you know, just, like, cry, or, like, what should I do? But it was late already, and I didn't want to, like, be there by myself. So I end up going back home, and I was like, I'm just gonna run to my room and, like, close the door. So that's what I did. Dude, I was bawling. I was, like, crying and crying, and because I, like, really loved him, you know? So I get back to my house, and, like, I open the door, and, like, I just close it, and I, like, jam to my room, and I close the door. But obviously my mom heard that I was home, and she, like, she opens the door and I'm like trying to hide from her because I don't want her to see me cry, you know? So like I'm like turning this way